You've been staring at that empty garden bed thinking May is too late to start anything meaningful, but what if I told you that May is actually one of the most powerful planting windows of the entire year, and most gardeners completely sleep on it? Right now, while everyone else is waiting, you could already be growing food that feeds your family by summer. And the best part? You don't need a greenhouse, you don't need expensive tools, and you definitely don't need to be an expert to pull this off. Stick with me till the end of this video because I saved the most surprising crop for last, and trust me, you're going to want to see it. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening. If you're new here, so glad you found us. This channel is all about growing real food in real gardens without spending a fortune doing it. Whether you've been here from day one or you just stumbled on us today, you are in the right place. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, it genuinely helps more gardeners like you find this content. And if you want weekly tips that actually save you money in the garden, subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a thing. Now let's get into it. Crop 1, Sweet Potato. Now here's where we start doing things a little differently. Most people think sweet potatoes are this complicated, long-season crop that needs a lot of babying. But the truth is, May is the sweet spot, literally, for getting your slips in the ground. Sweet potatoes love warm soil, and by May the soil has had enough time to heat up properly. You don't need to buy slips from a nursery either. Take one sweet potato from your kitchen, stick half of it in a jar of water on a sunny windowsill, and within 2 to 3 weeks you'll have slips ready to plant. Once those slips are about 6 inches long, twist them off gently, let them sit in water for a day or two, then plant them out. Give them room to sprawl, at least 12 inches apart, and they'll do the rest of the work for you. Come late summer or early fall, you're pulling up one of the most satisfying harvests a gardener can have. Crop 2, Yard-long beans. If you've never grown yard-long beans, you are genuinely missing out. These are not your regular green beans. These are the ones your grandmother probably grew in the backyard without ever calling them by a fancy name. They thrive in warm weather, which makes May the ideal time to direct sow them. Push the seeds about an inch into the soil, water them in, and stand back. These things grow fast. Put up a simple trellis or tie some string between 2 sticks and they'll climb right up without any fuss. What makes them special is how productive they are. One planting gives you beans all the way into late summer, and they keep producing as long as you keep picking. Don't let them get too long before harvesting though. Pick them young and tender for the best flavor. Crop 3, Okra. A lot of people avoid okra because they think it's finicky. It is not. Okra is actually one of the toughest, most heat-tolerant vegetables you can grow, and May is exactly when it wants to be planted. Directly sow the seeds about half an inch deep. Okra doesn't love being transplanted, so go straight into the garden bed or a deep container if that's what you're working with. Soak the seeds overnight before planting to speed up germination and you'll see sprouts within a week. Once it gets going, okra basically takes care of itself. Water it regularly, give it full sun, and harvest the pods when they're about 3 to 4 inches long. Leave them too long and they get tough and stringy, so stay on top of picking and the plant will just keep rewarding you. Crop 4, Cucumbers. Cucumbers are one of those crops that sounds simple but the timing makes all the difference. Plant them too early in cold soil and they sulk. Plant them in May and they take off like they've been waiting for this moment all year. They want warmth, they want sun, and they want something to climb. A basic bamboo trellis or even an old wire fence works perfectly. Bush varieties work beautifully if you're in a smaller space or using containers. Keep the soil consistently moist and you'll be slicing cucumbers for salads in about 50 to 60 days. The trick a lot of gardeners miss is consistent watering. Irregular watering causes bitterness, so don't let the soil dry out completely between sessions. Crop 5, Callaloo. Now this one right here is the gem that most mainstream gardening channels skip over completely. Callaloo, which is basically leaf amaranth, is one of the most nutritious leafy greens you can grow, and it is incredibly easy once the weather warms up. Scatter the seeds lightly on the surface of your soil and press them in gently. They're tiny, so don't bury them too deep. Within a week or so you'll see a carpet of little seedlings. Thin them out to give each plant room to grow, and you can eat the thinnings as baby greens. Nothing goes to waste. Callaloo loves heat and grows quickly. You can start harvesting the outer leaves within a month, and the plant keeps pushing out new growth throughout the season. Cook it up like spinach, add it to stews, or eat it fresh. It's packed with iron and calcium and costs you almost nothing to grow. Crop 6, Summer Squash and Zucchini. If you want a crop that makes you feel like a serious gardener fast, summer squash is your answer. Plant it in May, and by the time your neighbors are just thinking about their gardens, you'll already be giving away zucchini because you have more than you know what to do with. Sow seeds directly into the ground about an inch deep, 2 to 3 seeds per hole, then thin to the strongest one once they sprout. Give each plant plenty of space, at least 2 feet in every direction, because these grow wide. The key to keeping production going is harvesting frequently. The more you pick, the more the plant produces. Let one squash go too big and the plant thinks its job is done. Catch them young and you'll have an almost endless supply all summer long. Okay, quick pause right here because I want to know something. Drop in the comments below, which of these crops are you planning to try first? I read every single comment and I genuinely love hearing what you all are growing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time. Hit that button and let's keep growing together. Back to the crops. Crop 7, Pumpkin. Most people think pumpkins are only for fall planting. That thinking is what separates the gardeners who have big beautiful pumpkins in October from those who don't. To get them by fall, you start them in May. Pumpkins need a long growing season, typically 90 to 120 days depending on the variety, so May is your window. Direct sow 2 or 3 seeds in a mound of rich soil, water well, and let them sprawl. They take up space but they produce something deeply satisfying. If you're short on space, there are compact bush varieties that behave much better in smaller gardens. Either way, give them full sun and compost-rich soil and they'll handle the rest. Crop 8, Basil. Basil is in this list not because it's exotic but because the way most people grow it is completely wrong. They buy a pot from the supermarket, put it on the kitchen windowsill, and wonder why it dies in 2 weeks. Basil wants outdoor warmth. It wants direct sun. It wants May. Start seeds in small pots or directly in the garden, and once they're a few inches tall, pinch off the top set of leaves. This single move makes the plant bush out instead of growing tall and leggy, and you end up with 3 or 4 times more leaves. Never let it flower if you want leaves to keep coming. The moment you see flower buds forming, pinch them off immediately. Keep doing that and your basil plant becomes one of the most productive things in your entire garden. Crop 9, Cowpeas. Cowpeas are one of the smartest crops a budget gardener can grow because they deliver a lot while asking for very little in return. Known by many as black-eyed peas or southern peas, these plants thrive where other crops struggle. Poor soil, intense summer heat, and inconsistent watering rarely slow them down, which makes them ideal for gardeners who want dependable results without spending much. They also improve your garden as they grow by fixing nitrogen in the soil, naturally enriching the bed for whatever you plant next. Sow the seeds directly into the ground about 1 inch deep and space them 2 to 3 inches apart. Once established, they need very little fertilizer because they do much of the feeding work themselves. In roughly 60 to 70 days, you can begin harvesting pods for fresh eating, leave them longer for dry storage beans, or save part of the harvest as seed for the next season. A single planting can produce an impressive amount of food, making cowpeas the kind of crop that stretches your pantry while keeping your gardening costs low. Crop 10, Sunflowers. Before you dismiss sunflowers as just decorative, consider what they actually contribute to a garden. Sunflowers are one of the most functional plants you can grow. Their seeds are edible, their deep roots help loosen and stabilize the soil, Their tall stalks create natural afternoon shade for heat-sensitive crops nearby, and their bright blooms attract bees and other pollinators that improve production across your entire garden. Few plants combine beauty and usefulness this well. May is an ideal time to direct sow sunflower seeds because the soil has warmed enough for fast germination. Plant each seed about an inch deep, give them enough spacing so they have room to mature, and keep the soil lightly moist while they establish. Once they take off, they grow with surprising speed. By midsummer, you'll have towering plants adding structure, supporting your garden ecosystem, and creating a dramatic backdrop that looks fantastic if you're filming or documenting your garden progress. Crop 11, Bitter Leaf. This one is deeply familiar in West African cooking and yet strangely overlooked in most gardening content. Bitter leaf, known botanically as Vernonia amygdalina, is one of the most medicinally valued plants you can grow, and it thrives in warm climates with very little fuss. What makes it even better is how easy it is to propagate. In most cases, you do not even need seeds. Simply take a healthy stem cutting, strip off the lower leaves, and push the cutting about 4 inches into moist soil. Water it thoroughly, keep the soil lightly damp, and within a week or two it usually begins rooting and sending out fresh new growth. It is one of the simplest plants to multiply in the garden. Once established, bitter leaf grows vigorously, tolerates intense heat, and can handle dry periods far better than many leafy crops. The leaves are widely used in soups, stews, and traditional dishes across West Africa, making it both a practical food crop and a culturally valuable one. In many households, it is prized not just as food but as a medicinal plant, meaning you are essentially growing a small pharmacy right beside your vegetable garden. Crop 12, Watermelon. Yes, watermelon. In May. In your backyard. People assume watermelon needs a farm or a massive space, but there are compact and bush varieties now that grow beautifully in a standard garden bed or even a large container. The key is starting them in May because they need a long warm season to develop properly. Sow seeds directly where they'll grow. Watermelons don't love being moved once they're established. Give them deep rich soil, consistent watering especially once the fruit starts developing, and full sun all day. Pollination is important too, so if you see the flowers blooming and the fruit isn't setting, try hand pollinating by using a small brush to transfer pollen from the male flowers to the female ones. Harvest time depends on the variety, but that sound, the hollow thump when you knock on the rind, that never lies. Crop 13, Moringa. And here it is. The one I told you to wait for. Moringa is called the miracle tree in many parts of the world and it earns that name. The leaves are more nutritious per gram than almost any vegetable you can name. The seeds can be grown in poor soil. The tree grows so fast you'll genuinely be surprised. And May, with its warm temperatures, is the best time to start it. You can start from seed or from a thick cutting. If using seed, plant it about an inch deep in well-draining soil and keep it moist. In warm conditions it can germinate in 5 to 7 days. From a cutting, strip the lower portion, let it dry for a day or two, then push it into moist soil. Within weeks you'll have leaves you can harvest and add to smoothies, soups, rice dishes, or dry and powder for daily use. One Moringa plant kept well can become a tree that feeds your family for years. This is not a crop. This is an investment. So there you have it. 13 crops you can start right now in May. Some of these you've grown before, some might be completely new to you, but every single one of them makes sense for this time of year and most of them won't cost you more than a few seeds to get started. The garden doesn't wait and neither should you. Pick 2 or 3 from this list today, get them in the ground this week, and come back and tell me how they're doing. I genuinely want to know. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who gardens or wants to start. It costs nothing and it means everything to this channel. Like the video, drop a comment, and if you're not subscribed yet, today is a good day to change that. Until next time, keep your hands in the soil and your costs low. See you in the next one.